Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tracy and for today's video we have one sketch made into 5 cards using the gorgeous 2020 to 2022 in colours. Now we have Cinnamon Cider, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, Bumblebee and Just Jade. They are amazing colours and I'm so excited to be showing you the cards that we're creating. Let's get started. All the supplies for today's cards you can see on your screen. We're using the Forever Fern bundle for these card sets, and I'm also using the Just Jade card for our first card that we're creating. The stitched rectangle frames are what I've used here, and I've used the largest stitched rectangle. Because my panel's a little bit bigger, I've actually had to go through twice the big shot, so you need to make sure that you're not cutting it all the way through. We're also using the subtle embossing folder to emboss in that large rectangle that we've just cut out. Now, all the measurements and supplies for this card can be found in the description of this video. There's also a link to my online store if you would like to purchase any of the products that I've used on today's cards, or any other products you can. You can also use the hostess code when you're popping the order in, and you'll get yourself some really great deals as well. So we have a piece of Just Jade cardstock, and we're using that second largest in the stitched dies for the circle, and I've just cut that one out. Then we have the Forever Flourishing dies. These are a 14-pack die set that is part of the bundle, and I'm using this die here just as the accent on the card. This is Whisper White cardstock, and it's just quickly run through. So there's 2 of our elements ready to go. Now I'm also going to be bringing in the 2020 to 2022 in colour paper pack. This is designer series paper. It comes in 6x6. I have the Just Jade colour here, and I'm going to cut it down to 5 1/8 by 3 3/8, and then I'm going to do a little bit of marking to cut it in half. Now this will create two cards with this one piece of designer series paper. So I'm just putting it in my cutter, and I'm marking it at 1 7/16. This is just that little tiny notch before the 1 1/2. I'm lining those 2 pencil marks up and cutting it straight through. That gets me 2 even pieces of that designer series paper. I'm also doing it with my Whisper White piece here. Now the Whisper White measures 3 1/2 by 5 1/4, and I'm making the mark at 1 1/2 and cutting that one through. So I have 2 pieces of Whisper White from that one piece, and 2 pieces of the designer series paper as well. I'm going to be heat embossing the sentiment using the Versamark ink, stamping that sentiment, and we're using Whisper White embossing powder. This is one of the ones that's available in the new annual catalogue. We're using the heat tool to set the powder, and it just heats the powder up and melts the powder. Once it goes glossy, it's right to go. I have the new in colour ribbon here in the Just Jade. I'm just going to create a nice little bow. It's going to be just a little one. It's not going to be overly big. I do fuss around with it just a little bit. Let me know when these cards are complete which colour card you prefer. All my card bases have been pre-scored, so I'm just going to use the bone folder and create nice crisp score lines there, and we'll be ready to start popping them all together. So I'm gluing my 2 designer series paper and the Whisper White ones that we cut down with liquid multi-purpose glue. These are really good because it's positionable. You can get it into a different spot if you need to. As you can see, it's not quite centered, and I probably should have moved it over just a little. Gluing that down onto our embossed stitched rectangle. And we're also going to glue that die cut using the liquid glue just in the background there as well. So this card comes together really quickly and easily. There's not a lot to it. It's a simple design, but it really looks really beautiful with all the different colours. Popping our sentiment piece up with some dimensionals and popping that down. The bow is going to be secured down with the glue dots. I find glue dots work the best to secure ribbon, and they won't go anywhere with the glue dot there. We're also going to just use the multi-purpose glue for that card base to be just popped straight down onto the card front. Lastly, I'm going to put the new in colour enamel dots down. Now these are new embellishments that come in each of the 5 colours of the in colours, and I'm going to pop 3 down on each of the cards. And that's the Just Jade card complete. I'm going to move on to the other 4 colours now and do those cards. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's cards. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you left me a comment. Let me know which is your favourite in colour. I think I change my in colour each time I'm asking myself that. I'm really liking both Magenta Madness, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight and Bumblebee. Cinnamon Cider is going to have to grow on me just that little bit. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you will come back very soon, and I will see you then. Okay, bye-bye.